Without further ado, I'm just here to share with you a little bit about what I've done in my classroom, what I've done over the last few years as part of my teaching portfolio. I've started a WordPress website to store my teaching materials, some of my students' work, so that it has become a digital archive over the years. So my name is Chee Sheng, as you know me as a colleague. So I teach chemistry. So first of all, why did I do this? I thought, well, you know, I'm not getting paid extra, and I don't want to spend a lot more extra money considering how tight our budget is. So WordPress is first of all free of charge, and I can easily update it from time to time. I can update it from my phone, from my computer, from any computer really, as long as I sign into my own account. And I can password protect my posts as well. So there might be copyright materials, especially past year papers. So we do not we do not support copyright infringement, of course. So we try to copyright our past year papers. And then there might be certain students' work that might be a little bit sensitive. So we try to limit it within the classroom use to be used by my students only. Like I said, I've made my WordPress site as like a digital depository. It's like a bank. You can put in information. So it's forever there. I'm sure like a lot of tutors uses WhatsApp and emails as well. So emails are okay. WhatsApp are not so okay, because if you have a group chat, things can go missing unless it's started. That was quite a useful feature. But still, it's quite difficult to locate certain things that you might need. And a digital archive means you can Google it, you can index it by Google search as well. So students can, if you share the link to the post, students can access it readily. Even if you don't teach first year this year, but your cycle in A-level will repeat 2 years from now, you can still use similar materials that are related for them without having to do the same thing again and again and again. Like I said, you can update it, so you can just add in new stuff that relates to the current batch of students. So I can also update this anytime and anywhere. So although I don't like to do work when I go on holidays, there are certain times when I might need to update the blog to add in extra materials, and I can do that anytime, anywhere, with any computer from a hotel or from a hostel as well. So just to give you an overview, this is how my website looks like last year. I have revamped it a little bit. And actually, what I'm presenting this afternoon, the statistics are based on what I've done for my first batch of students from 2014 to 2015. So things have changed since then. So I've made improvement on the website based on what was recommended previously. So these are free websites, and I learned from YouTube, I learned from Google, two of the best teachers around in the world. And people will show you a lot of things there, how to do this, You just Google that, and then you can find out how to do them. So I learned how to create like headings, and you might not be able to see it clearly, but what you will have is really about exercises, work solutions, typical past year paper links, and then sample responses, good responses, etc., etc., including tests being compartmentalized with the other thing as well. So you will see that there is a protected thing there. That means this post is protected because this thing involves student scripts that have been scanned. So I might not want to show my one blog what I've scanned for the other blog, but I want people in one blog to be able to see how their peers have performed in that particular blog. Of course, I can give different passwords for different posts, but it will make my head hurts a lot. That's why I have two kind of passwords: PTE Tutong or PTE Tutong 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. But we stick to minimal password. My password is, students can easily guess the password. most of our websites, they have the same password. Yeah? So yeah, going on to the rationales for all these things. Yeah, model answers. So we've come to this idea where okay, exams are quite rigorous. Exams, the examiners are marking, they're looking for something. They're looking for answers in the marking scheme, but the students, if they just write the marking scheme, they might not get the answer. They might not get the mark. That's because the marking schemes are for the examiners, and what I try to provide on my blog is something that is different. There must be something different. Otherwise, they could just look up a marking scheme, and what is the point of them looking at my blog in the first place? So I try to give them a work solution where I would do the work as a student as well, and then what would I look for? What I want the students to look for, I would look for it in the questions, and then I will underline and circle them and do whatever it takes. And then this work, I will save them digitally, and that's what I meant by the use of Google Drive, the use of cloud storage platforms like Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive. Well, you name it, they have it. Technical glitches. I'm sure it's fixed now. Okay. All this Google Drive, Dropbox, and whatever. I tend to stick with Google Drive. It offers me 15 gigs free of charge. So I scan a lot of things, and scanning is free, and I can keep my files digitally forever. I can lose paper, but I don't think I can lose digital files unless I deleted the files accidentally, which is why you can restore from the bins. But yeah, so I think there's the value added extras that I try to put in terms of the materials that I uploaded onto the blog. So this is an example of a paper 1 question. So if I expect the students to do the paper 1 questions, I need to do it myself as well. I mean, I can give them the answer easily, but you know, how would you know it's an easy question or a difficult question unless you actually do it yourself? You know, looking at the answer can be quite easy, but then until you actually do it, it can be quite difficult. Only when you do the questions as the students are doing the paper, then I get to see how it's like, and I get to underline and circle and stuff, and these materials, I don't just make it available to my students. So a good thing about this kind of blog site is I can share with people from other schools as well, to help out colleagues who are newer than me, to share with them materials easily, without having to pass them my hard copies of the materials. I can just share my links, I can just share them with my password, and then they can access the link anytime, anywhere, and share with their students. So this is an example of a sticky post. So throughout the years, I've learned about certain things are more important than other, and I want it to stick out. So that's what we do with the sticky post. So these are all the exam materials, and usually these are posted closer to exam time, because throughout the years you can post many things. Closer to exam time is exam preparation, of course. I taught 2 levels last year. So my first blog site with my first batch of students was my own name. I came up with my own name because it was supposed to be a personal site, and I was still new with the blogging site. Since then, I have changed to a different website. I've changed it to a more professional sounding website. It's now called pitechemist.wordpress.com. So any free website will have .wordpress.com, but at least it's free. I don't have to pay anything. Yeah, I was teaching 2 levels. So when I was teaching 2 levels, I do not want my first year. It was a bit hard last year. I don't want my first year to get materials that I give to my second year yet. Then it won't be valid. But I'm sure there are people who knows people, and they talk. Yep, I mentioned about paper 1. And in terms of theory paper, these are student work. So this is my own work, and then this is students' work that have been marked. So after I scan them, I can snapshot certain bits of it, and then I highlight about errors and stuff. And when you are posting, when you check out Tennis Slim website or any travel blog, they will have pause with words, and then they'll put photo. So my one was educational. It would be like mistake 1, mistake 2, mistake 3, evidence 1, evidence 2, evidence 3. And then with brief statistics, 10 out of 16 people do that. Half the class do that. Oh, only 1 person do this. This is the funny answer. Okay, so yeah, it's just about digital depository of students' work and what I think would make them work better. It's about practicals as well. So every work, I keep a record of their work. And these things are scanned in school, by the way. I don't buy my own scanner. Our school photocopy machine, the one in staff room 2, is an amazing machine. It scans as if it's photocopying. It scans as if it's photocopying so fast. If you have a book that you want to have a digital copy, you should get it photocopied in a shop, and then you scan it. Then you get a digital copy of the book. But you don't spread it out. You keep it to yourself. Okay, so when I tried with my class last time, this is what I said in my abstract. I don't think there's any one factor that can account for students' improvement in any sense. I don't think you can pinpoint it down to one factor on its own. There are many things that can happen, whether they want it or not, whether they come to school or not, whether I perform well or not, whether they can do very well in school, and then suddenly in the real thing, they fell sick. Then it all comes down to that moment. So they can be lazy throughout the year, and then suddenly the one they revised the night before come up. Then they perform very well. So there are many things that can account for their improvement and for their results. But I would like to think that by creating this WordPress site, I have made a difference in how they have learned in A-levels, in how they learned in the past. And this is just a recreation of what I've experienced doing my A-levels abroad as well. They have Moodle. I think many years ago, schools in Brunei were taught to use Moodle, and just like everything in MOE, I think everything comes and goes. I was looking for certain people. Okay, so yeah, it's an investigation. So what did I investigate exactly? I thought after their A-levels, I want to know what do they think about the website. So Likert scale is like this thing that you're doing for the survey. Strongly agree, neutral, disagree, like strongly disagree, that kind of thing. So I have 16 students, so these are their sample demographics. So they were around 17, 18 at the time. This was just after their full A-level results were released then. So they know the results. If I had given them the survey before their results come out, they might feel that they have not achieved anything. So they might not have given, I suppose I was biased, I think. I'm not sure how reliable this is. I didn't go and do a detailed statistical analysis because time teaching in A-level is quite heavy. So I've just collected the numbers and worked out some percentages for you to see. So I've got 20 Likert scale survey items. What I've done is I've done the alpha correlation, and the correlation between the 20 items is quite strong, between -1 and 1, 1 being strongly positive correlation. It correlates quite well. And I can do this correlation because it's a survey style question. It makes more sense. The thing is very small, but I can read it. So a few of the questions will be like, I find the blog useful. I find the blog easy to navigate. I check the blog at least once a week. I know important details will be updated on the blog. I find the work solutions to exercises and tests on the blog useful. I find past year papers available useful. So I don't think I keep away any past year paper from students because the students will never know which past year paper I'm giving them anyway. For example, I will never give a whole past year paper to them because I know they can get it from tuition. If I don't give it to them, they can get it from tuition or some other people as well. So the thing is, they don't know what I'm giving them because I'm giving them everything. I find the blog helps to improve my chemistry grade in school. I'm taking responsibility for my own learning. So I think one of the good things about the website thing as well is you put the things there, whether they use it or not, it's up to them really. If they want it, they will use it. If they don't want it, they don't use it. Okay, I can learn anytime, anywhere there's internet. I check my email account daily. I know I can email back the tutor if I have inquiries. So I think we can all see that in general there's quite a lot of agree, partly because they have done well in A-levels. I've given the same survey to my upper six from last year, who I've just taken over last year, and only half of the class have responded. I don't think they check their emails anymore. So I can fairly say I check my email account daily. Probably they don't check my emails anymore. So yeah, I mean, like, rather than bore you with the numbers, like I said, I like to believe that the WordPress site has given them an extra dimension to their learning, something they might have experienced or something they might not have experienced before. Again, there are many other more useful websites elsewhere, but mine is more catered to my own students for my own classroom use and to be shared with my friends as I see fit. So this is from the National Education Forum. I think like Cikgu Hamida went to it in 2015, National Education Forum with our minister. And I think this is one of the quotes given by the foreign consultant who might or might not be here still. But I mean, I quite agree with it. It was obtained from Brunei Times. So obviously this slide was prepared from before Brunei Times closed down. Yeah, it's about a goal-driven instructional process. So there's a well-designed content and strategies, and challenge them and empower them with skills, apply the knowledge, and as well as values as well required in real life. So just to close it off, teacher development program team in PTEC, we have conducted our first website building workshop. Cikgu Rahmat helped me to facilitate one of the workshops. She is an expert on Weebly website. I don't really use Weebly. I use mostly WordPress. They are both quite similar. I remember we opened up a daily news last time and asked if tutors are interested. Our first session went quite well. Hers went better than mine. Mine was quite fast-paced and I finished earlier than her. But I learned my lesson. So the next time I conduct a workshop, I'll make it better. I will make it better. So we will have another workshop, I think. I will try and find a slot and then we'll open it up to more tutors should you be interested. Okay. So last time we had to restrict the number of people attending the workshop because there's only one of me, there's only one of Rahmat, and we want to give more one-on-one interaction, just like in classroom. The more students we have, you cannot afford to give the same love to everyone. There's too many people. But of course, we mark everyone's work. Yes. Okay? Just like we cannot give the same attention to everyone in a very big class. That was what we did. As I mentioned, there's no programming basics, and then anyone can learn how to make a website nowadays. It's free, and you get a lot of help from internet as well. So yeah, I think that's all I have to share this afternoon. WordPress is a really good platform, and I find it has benefited my teaching and students' learning in classroom. And Rahmat has done similarly for her biology. She has uploaded all her biology resources on a website called pitedbiology.weebly.com. And yeah, I'm sure if she presents today, she will have mentioned about the effectiveness of her website as well and how her students find it quite convenient. That's all I have to say for today. Thank you very much for listening. I welcome any questions from the floor. Thank you.
I'll start with a question.
Sure, yeah.
Where do you get the motivation to do this?
I don't know. I mean, like, I did a 1-year teaching program in UBD. I didn't do this then. But then I've always been interested in the idea of e-learning. We did Edmodo in UBD. They asked us to use a lot of Edmodo. I have never touched Edmodo since UBD. I don't find it. There are just too many features. it depends on the two-way interactions. And our students already have so much work to do, and they want them to interact online again. They would rather interact with their friends rather than me, in their free time. So it's a different culture here. It's a different culture here. I think overseas, some schools have actually started to use Edmodo in classroom. In classroom, then yes, your time with them, then they, of course they have to interact with you. It's in your class. Outside class, I don't think you can expect much from it. I get that motivation. I think, like I said, I'm quite interested in the idea of e-learning. I've watched quite a few lectures or flipped learning as well. So where you don't have to wake up early in the morning and attend lectures, you can just watch like I don't know, is that flip lecture, Cikgu Vincent? It's not. Oh, okay. I think my idea is more like the MIT Open Lectures. MIT Open Lectures is like someone give a lecture and then it's given to a class and then they recorded it and then they make it widely available to all, whoever who wants to learn. Education is free for all, although they're not giving you the degree, but at least you get to learn something if you can watch the videos. So I feel like with this kind of resources, if I have my resources somewhere and it's I can make it open if I want to, I can benefit more people than just people in my school. So I think humans in general want to help other people. So yes, I think I'm being helpful. Thank you. Does that answer your question, Cikgu?
Any questions from the audience? How many of you has a word block or something? One.
Oh, okay, that is WordPress. How many people of you have a weekly blog? Rahmat has one, Dina has one. I think those people who attended Cikgu Rahmat's workshop must have one. You see, things comes and go. I think like we need to have this culture where we started something, we need to continue with it rather than just attend a workshop, have a weekly website, and then just leave it as it is. Otherwise we'll just be one of those, they call it white elephant project. Otherwise it will be just a white elephant project. White elephant, not so common. Like one time, that's it. Is it white elephant? Yeah, I think it's white elephant. So I think if you have a weekly website or WordPress website, it's good that you continue with it, and then it might be useful in the future. And what you keep from this year might not be useful next year, but might be useful in 2 years from now. It could even be a walk down memory lane collection over 2 years. It's like you writing a diary for 2 years. And you get to see the students' work improving over the 2 years as well. And you get to have something very cool. It's called digital portfolio, rather than a file, which is teaching record file. So you get to have digital portfolio as well, in addition to the hard copy of digital record file that you have. Any other questions from the audience? No? If not, I think that's all from me today. So it's still quite a short session. Thank you very much.
We would now like to invite our principal, Cikgu Jamrudi, to present the certificates of appreciation. First of all, to Cikgu Angku Abdulazim.
One, two, three. Okay. All right.
Thank you. And secondly, Cikgu Onn Chee Sheng.
One, two, three. One more. One, two, three. Okay.
Thank you, Cikgu Jamrudi. So that is the conclusion of our 7th series for our teacher forum. We promise that we will definitely end before 4 or by 4. We will stick to the time. And before we go off, can we ask Cikgu Haji Ruzaimi to say the closing prayer? Thank you. See you in Teacher Forum number 8. Thank you so much.
What time is it now?